Hi everyone, welcome to Real Sales 101, the no-nonsense approach to selling. This is what the schools don't teach you. Um, Today we're going to talk about the character that you need for selling. We've discussed the professional aspect of the job. In other words, the things you have to do in the job, calling customers, filling out reports, doing quotes, that kind of thing. Okay, and we've also talked about the mental aspect of the job. Okay, the kind of frame of mind that you have to be in. What we're going to talk about today is the character, the type of character that you need that's best to succeed in sales. Okay, because it's important. There is a character type. There is a character type. Okay, if you don't have that character type, it could be more difficult for you. A lot of people come into the sales job. They come into the sales job and they think, oh, I can do this, I can do this. Okay, fine. Everybody can do it, sure. And yet there's only a handful of people that really succeed, or there's a small percentage of people that succeed when the majority of people just don't succeed, or they struggle along through life and they just kind of go a sale here to a sale there. Okay, you need a right kind of character to do it. Okay, and when I say character, you have to you have to be outgoing. Okay, that's probably the first thing in sales. You have to be good with people. You have to be able to talk to people. You have to have the personality that you don't mind going up to people. You don't mind approaching people. That it's okay with you, and you have to have at least a certain level of that. If you're someone who's completely shy, if you're someone who's completely nervous, and nervous, by the way, we're all nervous in sales, so don't think that people aren't nervous in sales. Okay, it's like any job where people go to. If you speak to rock stars and performers and stuff like that, they're always a little nervous before they go onto stage, and it's the same thing. Okay, but you have to be an outgoing person. You have to have that right kind of personality, able to go up to people. Okay, which kinds of leads to being a people person. All right, you have to be able to relate and deal with people. Very important. If you can't deal with people, if you can't relate to people, what are you doing there? If people don't like you and you don't like them, what are you doing there? Okay, you have to be able to smile and shake a hand, and you have to be able to greet people in the right way. People have to like you, you have to like them. If you're this miserable person with a cloud over your head all day, oh, I don't like this guy, I don't like that guy, he's a this, he's a that. What are you doing there? In sales, you want to get people to like you, and people are like dogs. They sense right away. People are like pets. They sense right away if a guy is a good person or not a good person. Can they trust him? It's important. And it's the same for your customers. It's the same for your fellow coworkers. And it's the same for any relationship you're in. Right? You have to be a people person. Okay? The more of a people person you are, the farther you'll go, the better you'll be. Why? Because it comes out naturally. Because people see it and they start, oh, I like this guy. Oh, you'll tend to buy from someone more that you like. You'll tend to buy from someone more that you appreciate, that is not judgmental on you, that doesn't put you down, that doesn't walk around with this gloom and doom over him. These are people you will tend to buy from, on a more regular basis. You have to have that rapport with people. It's part of the thing. Okay, and the biggest part, I would say, for your character is confidence. Oh, you got to have confidence. If you don't have confidence, it's very, very difficult, because you need the confidence for all the judgmental that's going to come at you. And it's not necessarily coming at you personally. It's coming at you professionally. It's coming at the company you represent. Okay? So if you walk in and your company has a bad name or has no name, you have to go with, hey, this is my company and I'm proud of it. Right? It's part of your character. You have to be a confident person. If you're not a confident person, if you're going to question and second guess all your steps, it's going to be very difficult, because that confidence comes out. You have to exude confidence. When you're sitting with your customer, the customer has to feel your confidence. You have to be giving the right answer. You know it's the right answer. You know it's the right answer. Whether you know or you don't, in your confident answer, the client is going to say, this guy knows the right answer. That's huge. That's huge. Because the client doesn't know. The client is sitting there, and you're sitting there. and you approach the client, and the two of you guys have to get along, and you're telling him about your product or your service, what you can offer, and he's going to have questions for you. He doesn't know. He's there. He's a student in your class. He's a guy in the audience watching you perform. He doesn't know. You have to lead him to the right spot. And the way you do that is with confidence. You know the answer. You are right. You don't care if he says something negative about you or something you believe in or whatever. It doesn't matter to you. You're going to keep pushing through. Confidence is huge, huge, huge. You know, if you don't have that, it's very, very difficult to make it in sales, because you're going to walk in with your head hanging down, looking at your feet. It's okay if you buy from me. I don't know. Okay, sure. Well, whatever you like. Okay, no, it's okay. You don't have to buy from me if you don't want. You don't have to buy from me if you don't want. I've seen that. I've seen salespeople come to me. I've worked with salespeople. It's okay. You don't have to. I understand if you don't buy from me. What do you mean you understand if I don't buy from you? No, that's not the right attitude. You can't have that in your personality. You can't. Don't understand. You're supposed to say, I don't understand why you're not buying from me. It makes no sense to me. Don't be that person that hangs your head down thinking that, well, maybe I'm not the best one out there. I see that all the time. There are salespeople who do that. Maybe I'm not the best one. Maybe the other guy's better. I think the other guy's better than I am. The other guy's offering you more than I offer you. Really? So what do I need you for? Why am I talking to you? You know, your confidence has to come in. You come in and you meet a customer. You have to come in confident. Yes, sir, I'm the best one. I can do it for you. I can help you. The other guy, he's a bum. You don't have to go that far, but you get what I'm saying. The other guy, I don't know about the other guy. I can't speak about the other guy. I can speak what I can do, what I'm good for. And what I'm good for is what's good for you. Oh, okay. Guy has confidence. Think about in your life. People are attracted, like a magnet, to people with confidence. You want to see confidence. Whether you're watching a reality show, it's always the confident guy. It's always the confident judge. It's the arrogant guy. It's the guy who stands up and says, hey, I mean it. I don't care what you say. Ooh, people like that. People like that. And customers like that. Customers like that's hugely, hugely important. Okay? So this is something that I'm going to come back to many times throughout, different videos and stuff. You got to have that confidence. Have that. I'm me, and I know what I want. And what I'm offering you is something good. And nobody's offering you as good as I'm offering you. And if everything is the same, then you have the best service. Or you have the best attitude. Or you have the best, if something goes wrong, policy, how to repair it. You have to be assured of who you are inside. Because when you're assured of that, you're assured of the product or service that you're selling. Nobody gives a haircut like me. Nobody has this type of blouse or tie or car or whatever it is. Nobody. Just have that attitude. It's okay. That's okay. You also have to have knowledge. Part of your character is you can't be a dummy. If you're going to be a dummy and you're going to sit there, no one's going to respond to you, right? The client's going to ask you a question. You're going to go, I don't know, no one ever, no, forget it. Don't be a dummy. Don't be a deer in the headlights. Have knowledge. Have knowledge. You have to be a guy that can take in knowledge. You have to be someone that can give it back to the customer. Customer has a question, you have an answer. Don't be clueless. And if you don't have the answer, because there's many questions you don't have, this is where your confidence comes in. Sir, ma'am, I don't have the answer. You're confident enough to admit you don't have the answer. But, I'm going to get you that answer. Oh, okay, sure, great. I don't have it now. You give me a day and I'm going to have that answer for you. Or I'm going to work on it or I'm going to die trying. Oh, okay. Here's a guy that I want to deal with. It's all subconscious. Selling is all subconscious. You're appealing to the client subconsciously. If you want to be sales, forget 80%, come from 20%. We've gone through that. A lot of people tell you that. Oh, learn how to communicate. Yes, learn how to communicate. How do you communicate? Communicate subconsciously. Communicate subconsciously. Oh, they'll tell you, communicate. Of course, selling is all communication. 100%. And they're right. The other guys will tell you that, and that's right. And they'll tell you things, remember the guy's name. Yes, yes, yes. All that stuff is all good. And 20%, yes, yes, it's all good. It's all good. But it's that being prepared, being in that right frame of mind, standing there, having that confidence, not being clueless, not being a guy who doesn't know. I've interviewed people, I've spoken to people, I've worked with people, I ask them questions, and the guy doesn't know. But it's the way he doesn't know. I have no confidence in the guy. Some guys barely even know their own name. What are you doing there? You're not really a guy for the job. So you have to have that right character. That character is, yeah, I'm going to get you the information. I have the information. I have the information. I've researched the information. It has to be in you to go do that kind of thing. You got to be someone also who follows through. Don't be a guy who drops the ball. Your character has to follow through. You have to have a follow-through character. I repeat it. I say these things and I repeat them. If I say them once, most people say it once, and they move on. It's done a cute little video that's 4 minutes long. Oh, okay, great. I'm good now. I can go conquer the world. No, you can't. You're going to be back to the video 100 times already. You have to learn this stuff. Don't be a guy who drops the ball. You're carrying the ball. You've got it. The client says, quote me on this. The client says, get me information on that. You know that you have to get something on your store shelves, whatever it may be. You're in a bakery and the customer says, I wish your Danishes or whatever, your bagels were a little sweeter. Okay, follow through on that. You want to present the guy with sweeter bagels? Put some more sugar into your bagels. I don't know what the story is. You know your story. Be a guy who follows through. Don't be a guy who drops the ball. The guy asks you something, you take 3 steps in that direction, you go, oh, I don't know. You're on the sports field. You've got the opening. You're there to run. And no one says not without obstacles. But you got to have a character that wants to get to the end. You can't be a character that the moment there's a little obstacle, the moment someone says something to you, the moment it rains, the moment you hear something about, I don't know, your tie that you're wearing. Oh, it's a crazy tie. We don't like crazy ties here. Okay. I'm sorry, next time I'll wear a different tie, but don't let it stop you. Or you're running and the guy says, get me information, and you're in the middle of getting him information, and halfway through you find the information is a little too difficult to acquire. So you back away. I don't know. Okay, maybe the customer's not worth it. No, the customer is worth it. If you've determined the customer's worth it because you've done your research, follow through with the customer. Okay? Also, you have to be a guy that has initiative. A guy that thinks ahead. Okay, so, those are 2 different things. So the guy that has initiative, okay, initiative, you've got to be a starter. You've got to see the customer and you've got to say, I want to get this guy. I want to go after him. I'm going to sell him this. I'm going to sell him that. I'm going to offer him this. I'm going to offer him that. I don't care what he says. I'm going to do it anyways. And I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to figure out a way of getting in touch with the customer. Very, very important. You have to win someone who has initiative. If you don't have initiative, you're going to sit there, okay? And trust me, people notice. Your bosses notice, your employees notice, your fellow workers notice, and your customers notice. They know if you're a guy who's got initiative or not. If you call them and you're offering them things, if you go up to them and you say, sir, we have a sale here. Sir, we're offering this. Sir, here's the pastry of the day. Here's a guy that's got initiative. Sir, our widget is going to help your transformer business go through the roof. Fantastic. Here's a guy who's got initiative. If the customer says, I don't know, I'm looking for something, I can't seem to find it, but you think you might know where it is, you say, let me see if I can help you. Show initiative. I'm going to do this before you ask. Very important, people. Very important, okay? And you always want to be a guy that's thinking ahead. Okay? You always have to be thinking ahead. You're that person. If you're going to sit and wait for the truck to hit you, you're not going to go anywhere. A guy's going to call you. Okay, fine, you're going to answer it. Maybe a guy's going to call you. A guy's going to come in. Maybe you've got a bakery, and a guy's going to come in. He's going to want 100 dozen bagels. right? He's going to want 1,200 bagels, and that's going to help make your sales for the week. Okay, fine. But does a guy come in like that all the time without you promoting it? No. You have to think ahead. You've got to figure it out. You have to show initiative. You've got to get out to the people and, let's say, go to the big users of bagels. Go to the companies around that have 500 employees and go to the president of the company or the buyer of the company and say, I have a promotion on bagels. You come and say, this, you buy, why don't you do a breakfast for your company? You're doing a brunch, buy your bagels from me, you'll buy 1,000 bagels. You have to be ahead of the game. You have to be a forward thinker. You have to think of where you're going to get your next customer. You have to think of how you're going to approach the next customer. You have to think about what you're going to offer your customer, what you're going to say to your customer. Be a guy who thinks ahead. You need to have that character in you. If you're not a guy who thinks ahead, if you're a guy that always gets caught behind, you're always behind the 8 ball, you ain't going to make it. Because your competition is thinking ahead. They're always thinking ahead. Right now, while you're watching this video, they're thinking ahead. They're planning. The Japanese don't they don't focus on the problem today. The Americans focus on the problem today. The Japanese focus 100 years from now. The problem today, it's irrelevant to that. Fine, fix it. Even if it costs us money, we don't care. You know, there's an old expression, penny wise and pound foolish. You've solved this little issue over here, but you missed that big picture because you're not thinking ahead. You're not looking at the big picture. You have to be someone who does that. Very important. Very important. Don't just be don't be that kind of reactive person. Proactive. Think ahead. Think of what's coming next. What could possibly come next? The guy can return the goods. The guy doesn't like the goods. The guy likes the goods. Maybe it's the kind of business where the guy can tell 2 people and they tell 2 people and they tell 2 people. Think ahead to that point and offer the customer or select the customer based on that. Very important. Whatever your job is, wherever you fit, have your plans of action. You're always thinking ahead of the customer. Know the customer's answers before he asks them. Now that comes with time, that comes with experience. But with time, with experience, know it. And be able to come back with the customer when he comes to the objections, you have the answers. So you got to be a guy who's always forward thinking, a guy who's always thinking ahead. Basically, that's the best way to put it. Okay. Now these last couple of points are going to be little prickly topics with people. Okay, but to be in sales, you have to be a little pushy and a little arrogant. Okay, you've got to be a little pushy, a little arrogant. Okay, doesn't have to mean you have to be this much pushy and arrogant, but you got to have a little pushiness and arrogance in it to be a successful sales guy. Okay, because if you're just going to rely on your good passive nature, if there's a lot of competition in your field, if there is a lot of potential for the client to say no in your field, whether you're representing yourself or you're representing a company, a big company, a small company, or you're just a clerk or whatever it may be, okay? If you're just this passive fellow or female and you're waiting for the guy to strictly come to you, you're not going to succeed. Your level of sales is going to be much lower than it could be. Your potential is going to be far, far lower than what it could be. In sales, you have to direct the customer. You need a character that's going to be a little pushy and a little arrogant. And the arrogance is a fine line between arrogance and confidence. But you need that. Because sometimes you can't be afraid to push back on the customer. And you can't be afraid to direct the customer. And this is not a put down to customers. This is not a put down to buyers. But in a way, it's having like a herd of sheep or a herd of buffalo or a herd of horses. You've got to move them into your corral. You've got to move them into your corral. By standing and just asking the horse nicely, he ain't going to come. It's not going to happen. By standing and saying, hey, Fido, or whatever it is you name your horse, hey, Daisy, can you get into the thing? It's not going to happen. Okay? And if you take one, you just kind of tug gently, it's not going to happen. You want to corral the horses into your pen. That's what you want to do. And you have to do that by using a little bit of skill. And that skill comes from a little pushiness and a little arrogance. Not a lot, just a little. You can't walk in and say, I don't like you, and you're this, and you're dumb, and I'm the blah, blah. That's very hard. People sometimes will back away from that. But a little bit is fine. If you're waiting for the guy to buy from you, say, hey, listen, you're waiting to buy. I mean, are you going to be buying soon? You're not going to be buying soon. I really need you to buy. Why do you think about buying right now? Why wait? You're pushing the guy. You're corralling him where you want to be. I know you have objections. I'm going to handle all your objections. I understand that. I know you have problems with service. Don't worry about it. I'm going to take care of that service. It's a little arrogant. It's a little confident, arrogant, whatever, a little pushy. You're pushing the guy, depending on what you want to do. Don't just be passive. If you're a passive type of person, it doesn't mean you're not going to sell, but it means you're not going to reach your potential. You could do more, you could do better, and you need that in a character trait. You need that in a character trait. When you stand back all the time, just because you walk into a store and you don't want people to come up to you, doesn't matter. Your chances of buying are less than when a salesperson comes up to you. When the salesperson comes up to you and works with you and says this and that and directs you, we have this on sale. We have this that will fit. We have that that's going to look good on you. You have that kind of, this is going to look good on you. Oh, you think so? Yes, I do. This is going to look good on you. This is what you need. I'm telling you, this is what you need. That's the product for you. A lot of people back down and say, okay. If you just let the guy come into the store and wander, he'll wander out. When a sales guy comes up to you, even though you don't like it, I don't like it. As a customer, I don't like it. I like to be left alone in the store. Well, that's good for you as the customer. But when you walk into that store, you're a potential client for that store. And that store has to bring you in. And their best chance of bringing you in is to approach you, connect with you. The personality of the guy coming has to connect with you. The salesman coming over to you, or salesperson coming over to you. They have to connect with you. They've got to lead you in a direction, right? You're looking for this type of music. Well, we've got that kind of music. You want this, you want that. This would make a great gift. They put ideas in your head. These are things. Got to have that little pushiness. Sir, do you think you'll be buying today? Well, why not? Why won't you be buying today? Got to move the guy. Move him. Have I got something for you that's going to make your life better? Important. And I just want to say that to do, I guess, with the arrogance or the confidence is, as a final kind of point, is that a good character is to be a little self-promoting, what you can do for the customer, how you can help. So a lot of people frown on that. They do. Oh, he's a show-off. He's a this, he's a that. Well, that may be. But when you're there with the customer puts himself into your hand. You're there. He's trusting you. He wants to buy from you. He's in your store because he wants to buy something or he wants to see what's doing. He's called your company. You've approached him. He's given you the time to talk to you, to give you the meeting, the appointment. That means there is the possibility, the potential of him dealing with you. And he's not going to deal with you, or I shouldn't say he's not, but the chances are far greater him dealing with you when he knows that you have his back. And the way to know that you have his back is by telling him how good you are, how good your company is, how good you represent your company. It doesn't mean you walk in, you go, I'm me, I'm great, I'm this, I'm that. No, there is a point where that needle crosses into the red. But there's nothing wrong with letting the customer, not only is there nothing wrong, it helps. When you talk with the customer, let the customer know that you're the guy. I'm the guy that's going to help you. me, I'm going to help you. If my company is hard to deal with, I'm going to fix it so you get what you want. Ooh, that's better sometimes than having a company that's easy to deal with. Because it shows the guy, if you're an easy to deal with company, okay, there's not much you can do. But when it's a hard to deal with company or when it's a tough situation and you're the guy that can help, that's everything. And the guy likes you. He wants you. He only wants to deal with you because you told him how good you are in helping him. It's not a point of how good you are to the rest of the world. It's how good you are to help him, because that's what he's interested in. Who can help me the most? Whether it be with price, whether it be with service, whether it be with product, whether it be my kid's getting married in an hour and I need the right kind of suit. Who's going to help him the most? And if you tell him that you're the guy, it's that kind of self-promotion that you have to, that's going to help him out of his jam and help him out. Anyways, look, thanks for, that's it for now, okay? So that character aspect, really important. Have the confidence, okay? Have that kind of arrogance, be a little pushy, have knowledge and be someone basically who follows through, as initiative and that kind of thing. These are character traits for selling. Anyways, thank you very much. That's it for now. Please like, subscribe, comment, and if anybody needs any consultation, training, that kind of thing, we're available for a private training consultation and all that good stuff. Anyways, thanks a lot, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.